I'ma keep it a bean. Stick to the script every scene. This from last year, but they clean. Say to say, I'ma take something else, but it's winning team. Charlie Sheen, fam gang the regime. I'm from Piney Green.
What's good, Shellitronnn here with the most smoke, no joke, and I'm back at again with a brand new video, and something big just happened. No, it's not my hair. The Amazon Prime series, the All or Nothing, where Amazon follows one NFL team around for a full year, was supposed to drop tomorrow sometime around the afternoon, but it ended up dropping 12 or like 15, 16 hours earlier when the actual debut was happening in Charlotte. So if you have Amazon Prime, you can check it out right now. And if you don't have Amazon Prime, you can get Prime for free. I'm not getting paid to advertise Amazon Prime, so what am I doing? I'm not Ninja. Anyway, point is, if you want to watch this series, there's all 8 episodes up already. The videos are about 30 to 45 minutes long each, and I'll be doing a reaction to each and every one of them. Now, depending on what you guys want, I can do them singularly, or I can, pair them up and do episodes 2 and 3 together. For this first video, I'm going to talk about episode 1 by itself because it's a pretty good intro. Actually, it's probably I haven't seen any of the other All or Nothing series, but this is a great intro. It starts off with Cam asking people whether Beyonce is throwback. I think Beyonce has made herself a timeless artist where it's not really throwback and it's not really contemporary to the point where I think it's all her albums, and no matter when they come out, are just automatically classics. You can't really call them throwback. You can't really call them, new age. They're just automatically just instant classics off the bat, no matter what it is, no matter when it comes out. I'm talking so much about this because the song plays, it's Beautiful Nightmare, and it plays the beginning and the end of the episode, and it's actually kind of wild that Cam chose that song. It's kind of a random, weird thing it's kind of a weird Beyonce song to actually choose. Like, of all the Beyonce songs to want to listen to, he chose Beautiful Night. That's a wild song to choose, and it's kind of a weirdly appropriate song for the 2018 season because it started off as a sweet dream, and it did end up turning into a nightmare. I don't know what kind of fate, what kind of clairvoyance Cam has, but that was a really weird song to start off with. But enough about that. This first episode of All or Nothing had a lot of really cool insight. He saw Cam giving a couple of really good pep talks in the locker room, in the meeting room. It was probably also the film room. It was a big projector right there and like a mini lecture hall kind of thing there. He had a really good speech talking about straining. He said he wants to strain more, wants the team to strain more. And if you strain as hard as you can, get to where you need to be. And hey, it was actually kind of it sounded kind of like a Jameis Winston kind of speech, only a little bit more authentic and a little bit less crazy. He didn't lick his fingers talking about eating W's. So Cam's actually a really good, he's a really good motivational speaker when it comes to football. He's obviously a leader. We all knew that. And then there was Greg Olsen. It's like when Greg talks, you have to listen. It's not like you're compelled to listen. It's like you're forced to listen because this man, it's like, I don't know if it's his voice. I don't know if it's just the way he talks, but it's like his voice magnetizes your ears to hearing what he has to say. Sometimes it's funny and it's him saying he could sing a Rihanna song, and other times he's explaining like kind of deeply, almost too deeply, what what Hamilton is. He was like talking to Cam, some of the other guys, trying to explain what Hamilton was and how it's black guys playing the role of white guys in the 1700s, and they're like, wait. So are they black? Are they white? What are these guys? Is it a parody? I'm kind of surprised that these guys had never heard of Hamilton. It's kind of wild to me. And I don't mean to spend too much time talking about Greg, but this episode really seemed to be focused heavily on Coach Rivera, Cam, and Greg. And I guess it makes sense because later on you're going to have to get away from Greg a little bit, so you have to get him in. He's obviously one of the most important Panthers of all time. There was obviously a lot of expectations for him coming off an injury, and then him also being, mic'd up, being one of the main guys, one of the main leaders in the locker room, one of the biggest targets on the field, one of the main producers on offense, and then to see him go down. I mean, they had a short little clip of him talking to the guys from Fox during the production meeting. You got to see a little bit of insight there. But this episode was really almost more Greg-centric than it was Cam, and for good reason. But then we saw a few clips here and there of the Cowboys game, and it wasn't really too much game film. We showed a couple runs from Cam early, a couple passes to Greg, showed him getting hurt, and it was a really cool thing that happened before the game. It was Ron hugging Cam and said, "Look, go show them why you're great." That was a great little clip there. I also want to mention, I've only watched the first episode so far, but you can already tell from the jump that editing on this series is going to be crazy. I actually was consciously thinking, this is some really great editing. Now, obviously, when you get to like the professional level, there's going to be some really good, solid editing. But when I was watching this, I just felt like the editing was obviously like in your face really, really good. It wasn't too crazy. It wasn't like flashing back and forth, going through different cuts here and there, like kind of randomly. It felt like every single cut, every single scene you saw, and the length of time you saw it was important, it was impactful, and it was done with purpose. And it was masterfully done. That's the way I like to put it. It was masterfully done. These guys at Amazon, the team for All or Nothing, the director, the editors there, these guys are really, really good at their job. You saw some really good shots of David Tepper, him stealing some shrimp out of the catering area. You saw some shots of him in the box with his daughter and one of his sons. And what I noticed, which is something I actually already knew, I won't talk about it too much, but I actually already knew from a conversation that his son isn't really all that into football, isn't all that enthusiastic about football. And you can see in those shots that you see in the box that you can see him getting really excited. You can see his daughter to his left getting really excited, but you don't really see his son who's to his right get all that excited. You see him clapping his hands sometimes, but if you compare his reactions and how engaged he is to the game to his dad or to his sister to his dad's left, it's a really big difference. And it's not really a big point to make here. It's just something I noticed watching the video, and it's not a big deal at all, but you do notice it if you're looking for it. Other than that though, this is actually a really good start to the series. Now, a couple things I want to mention here is that there's only 8 episodes, and the first episode only focused on the first game. So I'm guessing that as we go along, they're gonna probably condense a lot of the games. I'm guessing the Steelers game is gonna be its own episode, and then that really deep slide of games that we lose will probably be condensed into 3 and 3 or 3 and 4 different games, condensed into one episode. And then there's gonna be a few episodes where they focus on Cam's injury, maybe by itself. I don't know, but there's only 8 episodes, and there was obviously 16 games, and you have to focus on the Steelers game for sure, and Cam's injury, and maybe 1 or maybe even 2 whole episodes alone. So we'll see how that goes. It's definitely not going to be 1 game, 1 episode like it was from the beginning here. This is a really good intro, a lot of good insight. If you have a chance, definitely check it out. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. That's all I got for you today for this first episode. What are your thoughts on this first episode of All or Nothing, focusing on the beginning of the season, training camp, and getting into the first game of the year against the Cowboys? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, peep that pinned comment below, and you already know to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.